Comic book characters are becoming more and more popular with the general public. But which characters are popular is always a guesswork. Now, it seems like everyone loves a bastard. Someone who is rough, angry, and willing to do bad things when the need arises. So today, we're going to be talking about one of the toughest and meanest SOBs created, Wolverine. I'm Ollamh, and this is Geek Trivia. So the original appearance of Wolverine was not in a comic of his own. It wasn't even in a comic involving mutants like the X-Men. No, it was in the Hulk. As you may know, the Hulk is, one might say, incredibly tough and strong. It's difficult to see how anyone could go toe-to-toe with him and even survive. So the idea came up, why not create a character that has indestructible bones and a healing factor? Now, the original idea for the character is highly debated. Many claim that he was originally meant to be a mutated Wolverine cub that was turned into a human. Now, the creator of the character, Len Wein, denies that this was ever his idea. He has said that while it was his original idea that the claws should extend from the back of the gloves, he always intended the character to be a normal mutant. That's right. Originally, the claws did not actually come out of his hands, but instead were part of the costume. This obviously was changed when the character evolved to more than just someone who would occasionally show up and beat up the Hulk. Another proposed origin that was not used was that Wolverine has a great healing factor. He would learn after having his legs damaged, it did not work on his bones. He would have had them severely damaged in about World War II and wind up being in a hospital bed for over a decade, almost going mad. Until the Canadian government comes in and offers to help. Their plan was to replace his bones one by one with adamantium versions, the claws being a surprise. Now, for all his strength, determination, and violence, Wolverine would not normally be thought of as very threatening. He's quite short, being only 5'3". Okay, maybe he isn't that short. I mean, that's only 3 inches shorter than me. And without his metal-laced bones, he weighs 195 pounds, which jumps to 300 after the operation. For the longest time, nobody knew his true origins, even Wolverine himself. Going by the name of Logan, he knew he had a lot of skills and could speak several languages, but he didn't know where or when he was born. This amnesia came about the same time as he gained his adamantium coating for his bones and claws. Now, the metal came from the Canadian Weapons Project. The main goal for Wolverine was to make him a trained, programmed killing machine, completely controlled with no mind of his own. His brain was just racked and tortured with false memories being tucked away to confuse and torment him. With the idea of not knowing where he came from, he also didn't know his connection with his archenemy Sabretooth. Good old Saber had been thought to be brother, friend, and even father of the hairy runt. A lot of the same being teased by Sabretooth himself just to annoy Logan. The fact of the matter is that Wolverine is named James Howlett, and he was born sometime in the late 1880s, though the specific date is unknown. He has fought in just about every major conflict since his birth, his violent personality and skill set being perfect for this type of work. He also spent time with Apocalypse as one of the Four Horsemen. Now, one might imagine with his tendency towards violence that he would be perfect for the role of war. But he was actually picked for the role of death. Perhaps because while he is violent, he is actually one of the very few that is willing to kill someone. Now, he has been reimagined into all kinds of different versions, including being zombified, having everyone in the world turned into a version of him, and growing to an old man and becoming a pacifist. The most recent comics with Wolverine have him passing away. His healing factor no longer working put him in a tough spot, and eventually he does wind up dying. Even that isn't the end, though. There's a group known as the Wolverines, not to be confused with Patrick Swayze's team, going around looking for his body. After a fight, the X-Men take the adamantium-covered Wolverine. And because of Wolverine, Spider-Man actually gets accepted into Jean Grey's School of Higher Learning and discovers Mr. Sinister's plot to create a clone army of the X-Men. Now, one would imagine that this is the end of the story for Wolverine. But how his death happened, someone like Magneto could actually remove the metal from his body and hope that his healing factors kick back in. There's also the fact that Marvel looks like they're going to go the same route as DC and just kind of reset the entire universe with a giant cleansing ordeal. So that's all the time we have to discuss the Cantankerous Canuck. What are your thoughts about the small bundle of claws? What is your favorite fact about the little one? And what did you learn? Leave a comment down below and let us know. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions. Cheerio!
Travel gentlemen, I've decided that it's time to give you a gentleman's perspective on the world. Okay, that was kind of cool.